We're getting close. Good evening. I'd like to welcome everyone to the Elizabethton City Schools September, hard to believe, Board of Education meeting. Thank you all for coming. If everybody would please stand, and Dr. G, if you will lead us in a moment of silence and a pledge to the flag.
Let's have our moment of silence. Thank you. Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, it is time for citizens to speak in accordance with, is that right? Approve the consent and regular agenda. We're going to approve the consent and regular agenda. Can I get a motion to approve?
Motion.
Thank you. Can I have a second?
Second.
Have any questions or comments on the agenda? All right. Hearing none, item on the floor is to approve the consent and regular agenda. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Thank you. It's time for citizens to speak. We didn't have anybody to request to be added to the meeting, so we will move on. And Dr. G, I think it's your report.
Okay, I want to thank the board, all who we have had a very eventful month and a great month. Our teachers are doing a fantastic job in the classroom. We have several here this evening, so we appreciate them and all their hard work and what they put forth to help our students every day. Also thank the board for your work. We've been working together on a lot of things and have had a lot of functions which you've been able to attend, so we appreciate that. And also, Mr. O'Quinn, we're glad you're back and feeling better enough to be here. I would like to talk about a few things that have come about that have been very positive. First of all, we have some folks here from the high school who have been working hard on our MIT partnership. We also have been working on our partnership with TCAT and Festo, and we just received a lot of equipment from Festo. And we were able to take Mr. Simmerly down with us the other night and Mr. Colbert and talk about some of the opportunities that's going to provide for our students at the high school. We had our open house for our new virtual lab, and that was fantastic, just seeing the kids have an opportunity to do some great things and possibly bring some business to Elizabethton in the future with that. I'd like to thank two donors, Joe Laporte and Bill Armstrong, for helping us for our tennis court renovation. We appreciate them so very much, and understanding that that was something that needed to be redone, and coming to the table with dollars to help our students. We appreciate them. Tonight on the agenda, we are going to be approving a contract with Debbie Curley and Associates for special ed services, and that'll be free of charge to the school system. They'll be billing Medicare, but it will help reduce the overall caseload for our speech teachers who have about 70 on their caseload right now. So it'll be a shot in the arm for them. We have started work on a hardening of entrances for 3 of our buildings within the school system. We'll be utilizing some safety money. Mr. Van Huss worked on the grant, and we reallocated those dollars to take care of that. And so we're looking at putting some access control and hardening the entrances in those 3 buildings right now. The makerspace, as we said, with Festo, we're in the process of, we have our final drawings as of today, and they have been submitted to the fire marshal. And so we're moving ahead on that project. We have a progress meeting tomorrow. If anyone would like to come to the high school tomorrow at 9 o'clock and just be updated on that, you're welcome to show and come see that. The arts area, we're planning, it's out for bid right now. We had how many for the pre-bid meeting, Ms. Wilson? Do we have 3? She was not there, okay. So we had 3 show. We'll be looking at that, bringing that back to the board for us to consider after we see the numbers on that. We've had a great month. We're sailing. We're hoping that in the near future we have a lot of opportunity working with the new textbook situation. We have a lot of opportunity in our state right now to make improvements, and so we're hoping that we'll be able to give some feedback to our state and while they're choosing a new accountability model. Thank you.
All right. I would really recommend, I know Mr. Isaacs and I went down for the VR lab. Mr. Simmerly was there. You need to contact Mr. Minton and Mr. Colbert and any of these folks and go down there and let the kids talk to you about it and put that headset on and wow, that's something else. So it was a lot of fun. The best part, I agree with Dr. G, was just talking to the students and letting them talk about it. It was amazing, wasn't it?
Well, they're very excited about it. Yeah, you can tell, you can see their enthusiasm.
And they know what they're talking about.
They do.
So that was just a really cool thing. All right. Anybody else have any other reports before we move on? All right. Mr. Wright, you're up.
I'm feeling too good today, so hopefully I'll get through this without a coughing attack. But so I'm sorry if I do. But anyway, good evening, and thank you for letting me report on West Side. And thank you for letting me be principal again at West Side. I love it. It's a great job, and like I said, it's the land flowing of milk and cookies. And I've brought a lot of my West Side people here. I'm so glad they were able to come because they're really the ones that make it happen. But 2018-19 was a great year for West Side, and many things make West Side a great school, but the ones I rely on the most are my faculty and staff. They are my experts. They're the ones who really make it happen. But I'm just going to report on a few things that were great about West Side last year and some of the things that they accomplished, and I may just ask them, I won't make you talk, but I may just have you stand up when I talk about your grade level. But our kindergarten and first grade teachers, every single one of them scored a perfect 5 on their portfolio scores. And so that was excellent. Hey, could our kindergarten and first grade teachers just stand up? And if you don't know anything about portfolios, it's a lot of work. It is not something easy. It is a tremendous amount of work, and they did that and still were able to teach children, and so to read and write. And again, going to kindergarten room, it's magical, but it's a lot of work, and so really appreciate all that extra effort that they gave. Now, our second grade, they do take tests, but those scores don't count toward our school score, but it's still a wonderful thing to be able to know how much they're learning. But all 3 of our second grade classes, they did a tremendous job too. Their scores were excellent, scored way above the state average, and so we do have those, and they did an excellent job too. And we really have been, in the state of Tennessee, has been pushing for kindergarten through really 3rd grade, Read to Be Ready. They found out if we get students ready in 3rd and 4th grade, they're going to be able to achieve more. And so that's what we've really been trying to build, a strong foundation. And our second grade teachers, they're all excellent ELA teachers, and that's been our biggest focus. And so any of our second grade teachers, I think we've got Ms. Enzer and Ms. Bless, you can stand up. And 3rd grade, this is first year that we get scores that count, and our 3rd grade math, they ranked 77th in the state, and I figured that's about, give or take, around 1,000 schools. And so that puts them at about the top 8%, and only 3 schools scored higher than our 3rd grade math students in the first core region. And so, Denise Davis, she taught our 3rd grade math last year. I'll have all you 3rd grade teachers stand up here in a second. And in our 3rd grade ELA, they ranked 60th in the state, putting them in the top 6%, and only 2 schools in the first core region scored higher than they did in ELA. So if our 3rd grade teachers could please stand. And so I moved Miss Davis to 4th grade this year, so she's and let's see, our Fourth grade math scored 35th in the state, putting them in the top 5%. Only one school in the first core region scored higher than they did. And Miss Blevins was the math teacher, and her students scored 82.7% were proficient, and that is incredible in math. And so, our fourth grade ELA was 49th in the state. That's top 5%, and only 2 schools scored higher than they did, and that was Miss Marklin. And again, Miss Marklin's the one that figured out all these statistics and everything for me. She found those for me, so I'll give her credit for that. So Dr. Marklin, that is, and it is Dr. Marklin. She got her doctorate last year, and she's been a tremendous help for many things at Westside. She's one of our learning leaders. So if our fourth grade teachers from last year could stand up. So. Thank you. And fifth grade math ranked 105th in the state, putting them in the top 12%. And that was only 6 schools scored higher than they did in the first core region. And our fifth grade ELA was 71st, and they put them in the 8%. And only 3 schools were ahead of them. And let's see, do we have any fifth grade teachers here? I don't think we have any fifth grade teachers here tonight. But again, they did a wonderful job. And so now, with that being said, the biggest challenge that we have at Westside typically is growth. You know, when you've got 82.7% proficient, it's not impossible, but it is very challenging to continue to grow that. And so, and another example too is our chronic absenteeism was 1.2%. That's very low. And so, but we have to do better, you know. So hopefully the flu season will be very light this year. And so, and there are certain things that are just out of our control. But our school, our score was a 4. That's a 5 would be the highest. Our achievement though was very high, and so we were able to achieve the status of reward school for the 5th time. And this happens with a tremendous amount of work from everyone. Our custodians, they give us a clean and safe building for our students to learn in. Our cooks give us nutritious meals to help our children to grow. Our secretaries keep the school running. Without them, everything would fall apart, especially me. Our educational assistants, they help so much that I can't even list all the things that they do. Those are, I mean, our teachers will fight over our educational assistants. They're that valuable. Our interventionists and SPED teachers, I think we've got some interventionists and SPED teachers here. Let's see, we've got Tabitha here and Shelley. They basically ensure that our students close the gaps and get them on grade level. And they, again, do a tremendous job. Our interventionists almost work themselves out of a job at the end of the year, and so I start using them for other things. You know, and then we've got our related arts teachers who oftentimes kids, they'll come to school because of them. You know, they like music, you know, they like art and reading and things like that. And so the enrichment. But of course, our teachers who are on the front lines leading the way, not only teaching the state standards, but doing the many activities that we do at Westside, and there are many. And there's no way for our school to run at the level that it does without all our faculty and staff going above and beyond the call of duty. And they do this every single day. But let's just give them a big round of applause. I appreciate them. But over the summer months, I'll just let you know what we've had done. The Northeast Correctional Center, they installed a new fitness center or course that we received from Project Fit America through a grant paid for by Niswonger's Children's Hospital. They give away one of these in this area each year. And they hadn't given one in Carter County, I noticed. And so we applied for this thinking they're going to want to give it to us. And we didn't get it. It was like a couple of years, about 3 years ago. And then they called us at the end of last year and said, you know, we've pulled your file, and would you guys still like it? And we're like, yes, we will. And so our maintenance staff and the inmates put that in over the summer. And they also gave us indoor equipment, and they also brought in did some professional development with Mrs. Van Huss. And they said if we were to purchase it, it would probably be $20,000 to $30,000, and so worth of equipment and just the training and things like that. So next Thursday, you all are invited. We're going to have the ribbon cutting for that course. And yesterday, I talked to the Jinja Ninja from the American Ninja Warriors television show. He's going to come and help us. He's going to demonstrate a few things on it for the kids, and I think that'll be exciting. He's volunteering his time, so he's not getting paid for this. And so we appreciate him coming to officially open the course. Last year, our PTO raised close to $30,000. They spent about $14,000 on playground equipment for the kindergarten, second grade playground. We hadn't done much for that in a few years. They donated about $10,000 for library books, classroom libraries, and technology. We still haven't bought the technology yet, but we have purchased most of the books, and they're coming. It's like Christmas at Westside right now. I'm getting so many packages in with books and things. It's really, my office looks like it's Christmas too. It's stuff everywhere. But last year we sent a team to the RTI Squared Behavior Conference for the Tier 2 training. And RTI Squared Behavior is to try to keep discipline down. They figured out, hey, if students behave, they learn more. And we have embraced this, and we went to the training, learned a lot as a team, and we've continued to improve upon our Westside Way, and we've instituted a 3-house system to encourage teamwork and positive school-wide environment at Westside. And Ms. Reeser, our counselor, has worked tirelessly on this. And we continue to have many activities for our students. We believe that all children need enrichment. They need to belong to something. And we have a running club, a rocket club, Pine Derby club. We have Girls on the Run, K-Kids, and we're going to start a hiking club this fall, and we're going to have each of our houses are going to have a Quidditch team this year. And so when we get to it. But in closing, it truly does take a village to raise children. And, I want to thank the village of Westside that has helped us to raise our children. The parents, the faculty and staff, the city of Elizabethton, they've come and given us advice and helped us with several things around the school. Elizabethton Board of Education, the central office staff, our PTO, Redstone Church of Elizabethton. It's a new church. They have just helped us out tremendously, try to get things done on the playground this year and other things. Niswonger Children's Hospital, Project Fit America, and the maintenance staff and technology staff. I don't know what those guys get paid, but it's probably not enough. And so we work them to death. But there are just many others I'd like to thank, but I'm just so thankful for everybody and appreciate your time. So.
Thank you. All right, so we're going to move on to the regular agenda. The first item is approval of agreement between Milligan and the City of Elizabethton for, hang on, I have a little square right there. Elizabethton, and it's Elizabethton City Schools initial licensure clinical practice and partnership guidelines for the 2019-2020 school year, allowing the placement of interns and student teachers in Elizabethton City Schools. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
Thank you.
This agreement is our annual agreement we do to have pre-service teachers come in and work with us to hopefully help us recruit teachers who want to come to Elizabethton.
Do you have any questions or comments? All right, hearing none, item on the floor, approval agreement between Milligan and the City of Elizabethton for its Elizabethton City Schools initial licensure clinical practice and partnership guidelines for the 2019-2020 school year, allowing the placement of interns and student teachers in the Elizabethton City Schools. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Next item. Now, as for now, I'm not doing, at some point we can do a thing called follow the leader where I'll move things on your computer, but for now I'm going to let everybody just do it themselves as we get familiar. So just let you know you can click away. Next item is approve the addition of a full-time teacher assistant for Eastside Elementary School for the 2019-2020 school year. This assistant will provide intervention services to at-risk students. The position will be funded by Title I funds allocated to Eastside Elementary School. Can I get a motion to approve? Thank you. Can I have a second?
Second.
Okay, this item, Mr. Hurley will be happy to have assistants there at Eastside with a Title I assistant. And I think each principal gets to choose how they use it within reason. With Mr. Hutchins, they get to choose what they need, and this is a need for them for the school year.
Any questions or comments? All right. Item on the floor, approve the addition of a full-time teacher assistant for Eastside Elementary School for the 2019-2020 school year. This assistant will provide intervention services to at-risk students. It'll be funded by Title I allocated to Eastside. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. All right. Next item, ratify the creation of a K-5 CDC classroom teacher position to meet the needs of special education students at Harold McCormick Elementary. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Thank you. Can I have a second?
Second.
I know we've been working on this. Mr. Van Hus, Mr. Wampler have been working on this, but this really will help alleviate some of the, it's not necessarily overcrowding, but our CDC classrooms are very full this year, and we are trying to make sure that we have adequate supervision and adequate people to teach those specific students. And so they came to us to look at, we were able to work within our budget for this calendar year to make it work. And so thank you, Ms. Wilson.
Anybody have any questions or comments? All right. Item on the floor, ratify the creation of a K-5 CDC classroom teacher position to meet the needs of special education students at Harold McCormick Elementary. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Okay, all right. Next item, approve a master service agreement with Stericycle for the disposal of biohazardous regulated medical waste for Elizabethton City Schools for a total monthly service fee of $45.80. Can I get a motion to approve?
Motion to second.
Thank you.
Okay, this master service agreement is just to make sure that we are properly disposing of biohazardous materials, AKA if we have things, we have those small clinic boxes, and we have to make sure that we do that in a proper way. So looks like a large cost, but it's the going rate. We checked around to make sure it was the going rate, and so $45 monthly, and they become full twice to three times a year, but we can't enter into an agreement that only pays at that particular time. This is much cheaper to be able to do it by the month than doing it all at one time for the year. So we went ahead and went with the cheapest we found.
Any questions or comments? All right. Item on the floor, approve a master service agreement with Stericycle for the disposal of biohazardous regulated medical waste for Elizabethton City Schools for a monthly total service fee of $45.80. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Good. All right. Next item, approve the contractual agreement between Elizabethton City Schools and Deborah L. Curley, Communication Consultant LLC for the 2019-2020 school year. Can I get a motion to approve?
Motion. Second.
Thank you.
Okay, we spent quite a bit of time looking over this one. We started working on it in May and kind of put it back on the shelf and had our attorney read over it, and then really felt like it may be something, after talking to our SLPs, that could possibly help and reduce the total service time for students. What we want to do is reduce. We want to reduce the amount, the caseloads, but increase the service for students if we can. And so they will come and see students who are on TennCare, and then we will have all of our other students will be there, but we'll divide that up the best way we can and make sure we have it. But the great thing about it is they're licensed professionals, licensed SLPs that have the same degrees as what our people do. And so they will come in, deliver the service, and then communicate with the teachers about it. But for us, there's not cost unless we would have someone that's not on TennCare see them. So we can we have control over our schedules and the students we see, and they would come in. They've told us that we have licensed professionals in our area that want to work with Elizabethton, and so they'll be recruiting them to come in and work here, and we happen to know a couple of them, so we're hoping that that will work out great for us, and I think it will work out great for our teachers. But I do want to say there is no will among the administration to reduce the number of people we currently have in SLP. So we're not going to use this to take anybody's job or do that. So we'll keep the 3 SLPs we currently have, and this will be a free service on top of that, because it's very difficult to find SLPs with their Cs, and all 3 of our ladies do a fantastic job, and they do that. So this is just more about giving better service to kids.
Anybody have any questions or comments? All right. Item on the floor, approve the contractual agreement between Elizabethton City Schools and Deborah L. Curley Communication Consultants, LLC, for the 2019-2020 school year. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Okay, looks like this is our last item. Approve the purchase of 100 Dell Optiplex 3070 SFF MLK desktop computers at $528.71. Hang on, let me try that again. $528.71 each, for a total of $52,871 to be purchased on state contract 99AGZ. Can I get a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Thank you. Can I have a second?
Second.
Okay, this is, we'll have a lot of teachers happy. So all of these computers being replaced are going to be teacher computers. And so we're just going to try to make sure they have in their hands the best. And we have some that are several years old that we need to be replacing. And so this is our attempt to move forward.
You may have any questions or comments? All right, item on the floor, approve the purchase of 100 Dell Optiplex desktop computers for a total cost of $52,871, purchase on state contract number 99AGZ. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. And that, my friends, is the last item. The next regularly scheduled board meeting will be Tuesday, October 15th, 6:30 here in the Mac Pierce Boardroom. Check our calendars, and if there's fun things happening in schools, strongly encourage all of us to go. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Can I have a second? Second. Thank you.